Are you thinking about moving to the DC suburbs? Now, I figured as much because that's probably how you found me. But before you pack your bags, let's talk about something that most real estate agents won't tell you. What are the top reasons people regret moving to the greater DC area? The DC Metro is one of the most desirable places to live, but it's not for everyone. From crazy traffic to skyrocketing costs, I'm breaking down the biggest complaints from people who made the move so you can decide if the area is a good fit. Stick around to the end where I'll share how you can avoid all of these common regrets. Now, let me be clear, I'm not trying to dissuade anyone from moving to the greater DC area. Quite the opposite. Actually, as a realtor, I've helped many of you move here and I absolutely love it. Shoot, I live in the greater DC area myself. However, I had some of these same concerns when I moved here from North Jersey about a decade ago now. There's no such thing as the perfect city. For the number one reason, let's talk about the high cost of living. Now let's start off real quick by comparing some of the home prices, the rent, and the taxes versus the national average. The median home price here in Fairfax County is right about $700,000, and in Loudoun County, it's around $650,000. Arlington and Montgomery County definitely aren't any better. These are way above the national average. What about rent? Expect to pay $2,000 or more for a one-bedroom in popular areas like Reston, Tysons, or Alexandria. Property taxes and hidden costs when you purchase here. Virginia's property tax rate, it is lower than Maryland's, but Fairfax County has some of the highest in the state. And Fairfax County is where a lot of you choose to move to after speaking with you. It's just over 1%. Utility costs and HOA fees, commuting expenses, these all add up really fast. One thing I tell some of you when you're deciding on where to live is consider smaller towns on the outskirts like Warrenton, Gainesville, or even Frederick in Maryland for a little bit more affordability. Reason two, the insane traffic and the long commutes. Now, I know I talk about traffic a ton, but I have to. It's just the truth. The daily traffic here is a nightmare. DC is ranked among the worst in the country for traffic. I'm not exactly sure where we rank now, but it's not great. You got I-66, I-495, which is the Beltway, and Route 50, all super clogged during rush hour. You can expect hour-plus long commutes depending on when and where you're driving. Now, the Metro is an option, but delays and breakdowns, they definitely frustrate many of you. If you're driving from suburb to DC, the commutes look like this. Loudoun County to DC is 45 minutes to about an hour and a half, depending on the time. You got Route 7 and the Dulles Toll Road, but those bills can also add up. Prince William County to DC, even worse. Montgomery County in Maryland to DC. Now, Nova is bad, but Maryland side isn't any better. That is for sure. How can you avoid regretting moving here because of the traffic? Living closer to a metro station, number one. So you have that public transportation option at your disposal. Hopefully you have a job where you can choose your schedule and work during certain times so you can drive as often as possible outside of rush hour times. Or, of course, work remotely if possible. Reason three is the weather. Now, I always talk about how you get 4 seasons living here in Virginia, which is true, and a lot of you love that, including myself. However, the truth is you have hot, humid summers, and there can be surprise snowstorms and really bitter cold winters. The summer heat and humidity here gets pretty crazy. July and August, you got 90 plus degrees, high humidity. It can feel like a sauna, and it stays really hot for stretches at a time. Mosquitoes can be brutal, and AC bills skyrocket. You have unpredictable winters. DC gets snow, which is wild, but it's the ice and freezing rain that cause these major problems. You got the plowing system here isn't always perfect, especially for you that are moving from, say, the Northeast or some other northern state where you're used to a lot of snow, as is your city or neighborhood. Don't expect that here. They get the job done, but it's not pretty. Enduring the bad weather, traffic comes to a standstill. Again, we go back to traffic. Oftentimes, even if it's raining. Well, this happens more in Maryland than Virginia. You can roast me in the comments if you want, but man, Maryland drivers are something else. I'm not really sure what's going on there. How can you avoid this regret? If you hate humidity, it just might not be the place for you. Make sure your home has good insulation and a reliable HVAC system. Now, this is something that we absolutely check for you before you settle on a house. Reason 4, the highly competitive housing market. When looking to purchase a home here, especially in Northern Virginia, you can expect to compete for homes. Bidding wars are common in desirable areas like McLean, Vienna, and Arlington. Now, having the correct expectations and mindset when looking to buy here is extremely important. Many buyers pay over asking price just to secure a home. New construction itself is also pricey. In Loudoun and Prince William, new builds start in the $700,000 range for single-family homes. Delays due to supply chain issues can mean that some buyers wait 12 plus months for their home to be finished. Now, how can you avoid this if possible? Working with a great agent who knows both off-market listings and upcoming developments that you can get your foot in the door first is going to be super beneficial. You can also be open to townhouses or older homes in established neighborhoods as well. Reason 5, the school district disappointments. Fairfax, Loudoun, Arlington, and Montgomery counties, they all have great schools. But overcrowding is a real issue. Some schools have temporary trailers due to the student overflow. Also, not all schools are created equal. Some zones are definitely stronger than others. Using tools like Great Schools and Niche.com can help you in your due diligence as you plan your move. Also, you can check out one of my latest videos on some of the top school districts in the greater DC area. I'll put a link up here in the top right-hand corner. There's also long wait lists for top-rated magnet and charter schools. How can you avoid this if possible? You have to research your school district before you buy. This is an enormous time saver. Most of the folks that move here, school districts is really high on their list. So this is something I have them do ahead of time so that way I can actually put together a search based on the specific school districts that they want. Okay guys, the last and final reason that some people regret moving to the DC area is the lack of community feel in certain areas. Some neighborhoods feel just a little cookie cutter. You got these big box stores, chain restaurants, and just not much else. In highly transient areas like near Tyson's or Ashburn, it can be hard to build long-term friendships because people are always coming and going. HOA rules and restrictions, many communities have very strict rules. If you want to paint your front door, add to your deck, you want to change some plants in the front of your home, you're going to need approval for that. How do you avoid this regret? You can look for walkable town centers like in Reston, Vienna, Leesburg, and the Mosaic District. You can also, again, consider established older neighborhoods for a stronger sense of community. All right, guys, so should you move to the DC suburbs? It depends. For some, the opportunities absolutely outweigh the drawbacks, but for others, these challenges are true deal breakers. Here's how you guys can go ahead and make the best decision. Number one, you're gonna wanna budget for high costs. That's without question. Housing and taxes are no joke here. The second, plan for traffic or find remote work. Google Maps and Apple Maps, absolutely your friends here. Use it to see what traffic looks like at certain times of day. Or when you reach out and we start to plan your move, I often use traffic drive times to help find the right home for you and your family. And third, pick the right neighborhood based on your lifestyle and school needs if necessary. You can't try and check every single box. They'll drive yourself absolutely crazy. Some of these reasons here why people regret, you just may have to live with. But what I can tell you is that the greater DC area has absolutely so much to offer. And I'm gonna really enjoy helping you guys to get to know it as well as I do. All right, guys, so what do you think? Do any of these reasons make you hesitate about moving here now? If so, drop a comment below. Also, let me know what I missed or what else has you worried. If you want to, feel free to reach out. And if you need help navigating this market, let's talk. All my contact info is down below in the description. Also, if you guys realize that schools really are a major factor as you decide on where to move to in the greater DC area, then make sure you check out this video that I made helping you look into a few different areas that could be a good fit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.